For our research project, we chose to analyze the warehouse operation of the family-owned Simpson furniture. We took a tour of the facility to familiarize ourselves with the process, as well as interviewed Brett Wheeler, the manager of the warehouse. We specifically chose the picking process to analyze in depth. This is the process of locating and assembling the furniture upon request for delivery. Quality conformity is the goal in this operation, so that no matter what product they are picking, the process is standardized. This process produces a mix between pure products and pure services. Once a product is sold by a salesperson, it's either designed for customer pickup or it's given a time for delivery. Following the sale, it enters into the picking process. The picking process is the process of locating, assembling, inspecting, and loading the sold furniture for delivery. 2 days before delivery, the manager prints out the locations of all pieces on delivery, and the warehouse employees open and inspect them. For example, on Tuesday, Simpson will be opening the deliveries scheduled for Thursday.
Alright, so how we do it is there will be a location, 917, and then underneath will be a description of the picture, or of the piece. So with 917, this is aisles 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, and then 8 and 9. So the 9 would tell us to go to aisle 9, so we would go to 9. And then the second number is the level of it, so it's on the first level, which is the bottom level. So we would walk down the aisle, and the third number is 7, which is the bay number, and that goes in order. So this would be 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So we would go down more towards the back of the aisle. And then we would get to 917. And then you go to this number, which is the barcode number of the piece. So you would check on these white tags for this number, and it's the first piece in the bay. So this is our picker. We use this to get up to the higher levels for sofas and things that are stacked higher, obviously. We only have 2, with 1 being in service right now. Makes it tough to get over there, especially into the other warehouse, and be efficient with your process. So it's pretty simple. Turn it on, goes up and then forward, obviously, to get to your different bays. And you obviously have to be careful with the water pipes and everything. We've had people hit those before, and it creates a mess. So forward, up, and if they were to need like this box, come off. Then you're right at the level, you just pull it straight out.
The product is located, assembly is required. Mr. Wheeler said 85% of products require assembly. This process helps utilize warehouse space because an unassembled product requires less storage room, allowing more space for inventory. Most sofas only require legs to be put on, while others just need to take the plastic off. Simpson also sells things such as TV stands, nightstands, and leaning bookcases. These products require a bit more assembly. Every piece must be carefully assembled to avoid damage and wasting time sending it back to the supplier for replacement.
Inspecting the furniture, employees are looking for any damage that's taken place. So with like sofas, they're looking for any damaged corners or cuts in the fabric or leather. here's an example of damage to the leather where they would set the furniture aside. On wooden pieces, they're looking for any cuts, cracks, or smashed corners. All these types of damages are commonly seen and pop up at least once or twice a day. If damage is found, the employee can try to fix it themselves, and if they cannot, they take it over to the service department for them to take a look at. Component of the picking process is loading the trucks. Here at Simpson, they have 5 doors, dock doors, and 6 trucks. There are always 3 trucks waiting in queue before being loaded with the next day's deliveries, while the other 3 are in transit making the day's deliveries. The trucks are always loaded from last stop to first to make the process more efficient and saving time on the route.
At Simpson's Furniture, there's a variation in demand depending on the holiday season. Like during Thanksgiving and Christmas, it tends to be more busier than usual, but during the spring and fall, it isn't quite as busy. So they have a variation of employees during those months. So they hire workers comp people that are ready to work just for those few busy weeks and lay them off again. Simpson operates on a lag demand strategy predominantly because when they order a product, they assemble it here in the warehouse instead of like most companies, they assemble it at the house or the business or wherever the product is going. So the lag time is about 2 to 3 weeks, so they have time for the shipment and assembling the product.
Like any other company, there's competition, and Simpson is no exception. They have competition from the big box stores such as Slumberland, Furniture Row, and all that. And the way Simpson sets themselves apart is through quality. This is done in the picking process by Simpson assembling the furniture and inspecting everything before it goes out on the truck to the customers. That way they can eliminate any errors, any damage before it gets to the customer. Whereas the bigger companies, they will just send their furniture straight out to the customer, and if there's any errors, they realize it at the customer, which wastes time and money. Bigger box stores have over Simpson, however, is speed and price. They can deal with a few damaged products because they have such more volume than Simpson does. Simpson has less customers and volume than these bigger stores, so every purchase that goes out the door has to be air-free and great quality. So this is how Simpson sets themselves apart.
Operation strategy that is most prominent in the organization is the bottom-up approach. This strategy gives the warehouse staff freedom to suggest changes to make the process more efficient. Mr. Wheeler holds monthly meetings that focus specifically on any suggestions the staff may have to continue the warehouse operation. For example, if it was found that delivery drivers that pre-assembled tables were being damaged while they were in transit to the customers, suggested that the tables be assembled upon arrival to the customer's location. Since this new process has been implemented, quality levels have risen, aligning with Simpson's core performance objectives.
A few years ago, Simpson decided to move from their location at 515 Main Street to here, which is now 2300 Main Street. They chose to do this because it was a bigger building, and then they could combine their warehouse, which is already here, and their clearance store, which is already here, with the main showroom. And there's much more traffic that goes by the 23rd block of Main Street than there is the 5th. And then at that time, they also bought this, which used to be an old batting cage, and then expanded on their warehouse to be able to order in more inventory. And that is around the same time that they opened the Coralville store.